Huh? What on earth was that? That's not in my script. What a weirdo. No matter. We'd better get back to concentrating on the dungeon. A huge monstrosity loomed out of the darkness on 8 legs. This dungeon's human guards had been ancient history for a long while. Now it was home to a huge spider and her brood. Would Sam and Frodo escape it and continue their journey to Mount Doom, or was this the end of the ring-bearer? Hang on a minute, that's not the right text. Where were we? Oh yes, a huge spider, henceforth called the Spider Queen. It would be necessary to eliminate the Spider Queen before the horde could reach the surface. The Spider Queen sent forth a wave of her children. Of course, the ultimate evil was fully aware of this danger and immediately prepared to defend itself against them. At least, that's what I heard. The vile perversion, once called the Spider Queen, had nothing more with which she could fight the horde. Later, the sensitive evil would have her innards made into a lava lamp. The way to the surface was open. Now it was time to put those vengeance plans into practice. The vile evil wanted to take this opportunity to utter a really sinister laugh. But unfortunately, its physical state made this unviable. Instead, it asked the narrator to do a bit of sinister laughter on its behalf. Oh well, here goes. Deep breath. The hunting lodge was completely destroyed. The vengeful evil gave itself a very self-satisfied pat on the back. The time was right to concentrate on King Robert. He was in his renowned garden reciting his much less renowned love poems. The lyrically challenged evil had no time for poetry and would soon make this tangibly clear to him. The king was accompanied by a pixie who was able to cast powerful healing magic. Any direct attack would be suicidal. Mercifully, the omniscient and helpful narrator was at hand. He pointed out to the impatient evil that the pixie went off from time to time in order to check that all was well, and much more importantly, eat her supper in a little camp to the south. The pixie buzzed over to eat her meal. The ultimate evil prepared an ambush.
Roses are red and loud. Give me your heart, else I steal it and
The annoying little pixie had spoken her last healing spell. The crafty-minded evil sculpted a fan from her wings. Now it was time to look for King Robert and ensure his early demise. And the ultimate evil had received its well-deserved revenge. But there were still many more heroes out there who deserved to bite the dust. Their time would come. Together with its Naga allies, the army of the ultimate evil stormed the Naga temple. The battle began. payday. It wouldn't be long before Krowtoes was defeated. Just a few more blows and he would fall. Hey, wait, what do you think you're doing? Come back, you coward! I mean, seeing that defeat was inevitable, Krowtoes opted for a strategic retreat, leaving the temple in the ultimate evil's power. The gathered evilness then burst the nearby dam, and the Alliance's camp disappeared under waves of water with a very satisfactory gurgling sound. Despite the soggy end to the Alliance, the ultimate evil was livid. It had just been robbed of a delicious revenge. But, if I may be so bold, that was yet to come. I saw it in the script. An orc emerged from the darkness, muttering, "Right, show me what you've got then." He started attacking the creatures of the ultimate evil. Spiders have spread throughout the underground. After a tough battle, the mysterious orc was slain. What was all that about? Wait, suddenly the corpse of the orc began to disintegrate. At the same time, something could be seen moving by that strange altar in the orc cave. Was that his spirit floating in the air over there? After a few seconds, the strange altar appeared to set the orc free. It would seem he had risen from the dead. He now happily joined the horde, having ensured their fighting skills were up to scratch. This strange altar was impressive. Perhaps the ultimate evil would soon be able to build something like this in its own dungeon, once it had inspired its monsters through an act of evil. The hungry evil was in the mood for horse salami. The time had come to get rid of the unicorn.
Avoid the fratricidal war. Each sliver of a soul exists in its own right.
Him again? Good grief, can't he and his pseudo-mystical babbling go somewhere else? We're trying to tell a story here. Suddenly, the creatures of the abominable evil itched all over and started scratching their bodies. This was bound to have been caused by the presence of the nauseatingly good unicorn rubbing off on them. Nailed it. The horde's bloodthirsty monsters killed the disgustingly fluffy unicorn on behalf of the ensconced evil. For the troops, this meant only one thing: horse salami. But wait, that's not all. This evil deed completely delighted the horde and inspired it to new evil deeds. The ultimate evil was now able to get its servants to upgrade the throne room. This would give access to more fabulously diabolical things. The ultimate evil returned to its throne room at once and had it upgraded immediately.
Welcome. You who are about to die, we salute you. For you will die here. For horror. For the one true evil.
Gandeldore hit the ground. The horde had triumphed. Quite naturally, even a demonically possessed magician was absolutely no match for the ultimate evil. Nevertheless, Gandaldore's words were significant, because he really was convinced that he was serving the one true evil. Apparently, there was competition out there. The remaining demons fled from the victorious horde in droves via brand new demon portals that suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Where would they go? All would be revealed at a future date. At least their master had been destroyed.
This is where the dead do rest. There is no place for the living here. Meet my sword. Frostgarn is hungry.
It was obvious that negotiations were not an option here. Therefore, the powerful evil chose one of its most well-proven tactics to solve the problem. Hit it till it stops moving. There are enemies in your dungeon. Payday! The Skeleton King was unable to withstand the unspeakable evil's creatures and crumbled to dust under their mighty blows like a vampire in sunlight. Just like a proper vampire does. Not one of those little twilight wussies. But I digress. The undead remained completely unimpressed and steadfastly refused to be controlled by the ultimate evil. Something out there was stopping them. However, without a leader, they were no longer a threat to the Horde. They just trudged about mindlessly, completely devoid of control. They were therefore useless to the ultimate evil. So the evil pushed on towards King's Ending in order to destroy the Alliance's remaining heroes there. The chaotic evil got its first glimpse of the Tree of Life, and was relieved to see that it was not a 140-minute film about a grieving husband, but an actual tree. Woody growths are much easier to wipe off the face of the earth than media products. Chaotic evil managed to destroy the Tree of Life, in stark contrast to his buddy Archimon, who was defeated by a few balls of light. When the Tree of Life died, the forest surrounding it died as well. New, unexpected pathways were revealed through the dying trees. Perhaps the Flaming Legion will be able to access the city this way. Oh yes, and a nice side effect was that this evil deed inspired the chaotic evil's creatures afresh. The evil immediately set about upgrading the throne room. unstoppable evil ensured King Joffrey and his wedding party came to a sticky end. This event would later be recorded in the history books under the name Bloody Wedding. Not very pithy, I know, but at least it prevents any licensing issues. Paying no attention to this in the slightest, the unspeakable evil now turned its attentions to the main goal, King's Ending. However, despite the well-planned ambush, the defenders of good could not stop the despicable evil. Yet another outpost of King's Ending was sent up in smoke and flames. The destruction of the King's Ending outpost had demoralized the defenders. Grumli, the dwarf king, could not restrain himself and attacked.
Come on, follow me. Let's drive this dishonorable scum out of our country. Certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
The gates of King's Ending opened. Grumli, the dwarven high king, lay in the dust. Once again, the insidious evil had won and had at last completed a further step on its path of revenge. The remaining heroes entrenched and barricaded themselves into King's Ending. It was time to take the battle into the city. One of the houses just went up in flames. Oh, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. I mean, the creatures of the destruction-mad evil raged uninterrupted through the city, destroying everything that got in their way. But
Come, defenders of King's Ending! Let us throw this scum out of our city! This day does not belong to one man, but to all! Let us together rebuild this world that we may share it in the days of peace. Never again will this be in our hands. The London, I mean King's Ending!
two quotes at once? Good grief, my tongue's gone all furry. Anyway, Guludruul, the elemental Magess, appeared in the city in order to protect it and drive the abominable evil out. It was obvious that she didn't understand that the genius evil was the main protagonist of this story, and she only had a bit part. Her demise would give all of us great joy.
Defeated me. Take note, today is not the end. I will return. On that depend.
The last house in the upper town of King's Ending had been destroyed. It was now time to put an end to the elemental Magess, elemental Magette. You know, I really hate writers. Why did they do this to me? Never mind. It was now time to put an end to Guludruul once and for all, permanently. With an impressive speech, the elemental Magess prepared herself for the final battle. But the menacing evil was entirely unimpressed and sent its henchmen into the fray. At last! I mean, after a tough battle, the elemental Magess fell to the ground. Her time was over. Now the demigod was all that stood between the forces of evil and success.
You think that this is the end, but in fact, it is just the beginning.
You again? Hey, if I want to hear esoteric jabbering, I'll go to a natural healer and get my diseases cured with a pendulum. Now, let's get back to the story. We've just got to the bit where you destroyed King's Ending.
Hold your position! Hold your position! Sons of King's Ending, my brothers! I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come when the courage of the Alliance fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. This day we fight! By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you stand, men of the Alliance!
With a brilliant and plagiarized speech, the demigod Krowtoes roused the warriors for the final battle against evil. Here it is then, the last confrontation between good and evil, the final battle. The impressive finale that probably only 10% of all buyers actually get to see. The epic end to the story, for which several people have worked sleepless nights to complete. So, this is it. Now it was up to the creatures of the snorting with fury evil to exact their final revenge. Payday. Yes! Wow, you did it! Forget about this talking to you in the third-person crap. You really did it! Incredible! I could hug you, I could kiss you, but hey, I'm just the voice in a video game. Krowtoes lay on the ground. The absolute evil had triumphed and wreaked its revenge. Now there was only one thing left to do. Watch the somewhat mediocre outro we managed to cobble together just before the deadline. Enjoy. With a hoarse Krowtoes fell to the ground. The Horde had triumphed, and the end of the Alliance had been sealed. Everything was exactly as the ultimate evil had always dreamed. Well, not exactly. Out there lurked another part of itself, the chaotic evil with its flaming legion of demons. It would hardly give in without a fight. But the greatest danger, which neither yet suspected, arose in the north, on the other side of the wall.